pattern interrupt. They call it uncanny. You felt it. That moment in a high-stress meeting, a breakup, or a crisis where everyone else loses their mind and you simply observe. While they are drowning in the what if, you are calculating the what is. You aren't cold because you lack feelings. You're cold because you've mastered the lag between the impulse and the action. Most people are slaves to their neurochemistry. You've become the chemist. Big promise. Today, we aren't just listing traits, we're dissecting the architecture of the cold intellect. We'll cover the 10 definitive signs, the ghost in the machine psychological phenomenon, and the dangerous threshold where logic becomes a weapon. If you resonate with these, you aren't broken. You've just evolved past the need for emotional consensus. Relatable pain point. The hardest part isn't the logic, it's the mask. You spend your life performing empathy so people don't find you intimidating. You nod when they cry, you laugh when they joke, but internally, you're just running a script. You feel like an alien in a room full of humans who are governed by moods and weather. It's exhausting to pretend that a minor inconvenience is a tragedy. Psychological breakdown, the amygdala bypass. Standard human biology is a feedback loop. Threat happens, amygdala fires, emotion floods, logic dies. But in the cold intellect, there is a synaptic delay. You possess high vagal tone. Your nervous system can handle massive amounts of data without triggering a fight or flight response. This allows you to perform cognitive empathy, understanding what others feel without actually feeling it yourself. It is the ultimate tactical advantage. You see the fire, they are in the fire. Historical case study, the Machiavellian mirror. Consider Cardinal Richelieu. He lived in a world of emotional kings and impulsive dukes. He remained a statue. When his enemies plotted, he didn't get angry. He looked for the logic of necessity. He famously said, "If you give me 6 lines written by the hand of the most honest of men, I will find something in them which will hang him." He didn't hate the man. He just understood the math of the law. He viewed the state as a machine and people as gears. To reach this level, you must stop seeing good and bad and start seeing cause and effect. The expanded 10-sign framework. 1. The post-crisis clarity. In a car wreck or a business failure, you're the one making the phone calls while others are shaking. Your brain locks into execution mode. Strategic vulnerability. You only show emotion when it serves a purpose. You've learned that a calculated tear or a controlled outburst can move people more than 1,000 spreadsheets. The boredom of manipulation. You see through gaslighting and guilt trips instantly. It doesn't hurt your feelings, it just bores you. It's like watching a child try to do a magic trick you already know. High tolerance for unpopularity. You'd rather be right and hated than wrong and loved. You don't seek validation, you seek verification. The systems lens. You don't blame the person, you blame the system. If an employee fails, you don't get mad at them, you fix the training manual. Brutal self-correction. When you're wrong, you don't defend your ego. You kill the old idea and replace it immediately. You have no loyalty to your past selves. Intellectual loneliness. You find it hard to find mentors. Most experts are just loud. You crave someone who can outthink you, but they are rare. The why obsession. You don't care what happened, you care about the motive. You're a forensic psychologist in every casual conversation. Temporal displacement. You live 6 months in the future. Today's problems are already solved in your mind. You're just waiting for the calendar to catch up. And the off switch. You can walk away from a 10-year relationship or $1 million project if the logic no longer holds. You don't suffer from the sunk cost fallacy. emotional reinforcement, the weight of the crown. Being the cold intellect isn't a superpower, it's a responsibility. You're the one who has to make the hard choices that emotional people can't. You're the one who stays calm when the ship is sinking. It's a lonely throne. But remember, the world needs the architects as much as it needs the artists. Your clarity is your contribution. Ending and the ultimate open loop. But there is a final stage, a level beyond the 10 signs. It's called the Ghost Protocol. It's when you stop being cold and start being invisible. When you learn to simulate humanity so perfectly that no one even suspects you're calculating. But to do that, you have to master the one thing logic can't explain, the primal impulse. In the next 15-minute breakdown, we're going to explore how to weaponize the Ghost Protocol to influence anyone without them ever feeling a chill.